And we're back. All right. So to recap, because we had our technical difficulty there, we're going through this round of what is certainly going to be combat in this room as things have gone off. And what has happened so far is that Finnan hopped up on a table, whistled out a spell that brought moonlight into the room, banishing the darkness. Rhiannon is repeating a particular word out loud while pointing her hands forward. I assume you're pointing them at the door and or people in the way of it.
Vampire.
Got
then
it.
Door.
Okay, gotcha. Vampire first, door second.
Yes.
And so you're continuing to do that chanting, feeling this power just surging forth and building within you. It's satisfying. You've been stuck in this stupid thing where and it's really satisfying to be doing something and tapping into this as well. And so that's a thing that's happening. The alley got up rather quickly. That elven dexterity comes in handy and moved. Whoa, I better not go in front of Rhiannon. She's doing a thing.
and her hands are out like this. I am not getting anywhere near.
And she is chanting, so it's not just her hands are out like that. Okay, so Finnan will complete a statement from atop the table before the fire rushes forth from your hands, Rhiannon. He's going at 4, you're going at 5. His statement is as follows. Creatures of pain and despair, I bear the light that guides those found in darkness. See it, and no justice comes from you in this world or the next. And almost as if on cue, so Rhiannon, fire, just pure coursing flame. You'll feel at your heart above it, the mark, trigger, and there'll be a blast of ruby light, and then just roaring out of your hands is a column, like a flamethrower of fire. Okay? This is more than you were expecting, to be honest. I kind of think maybe you were thinking, okay, well, like burning hands?
Yeah.
This is not burning hands. This column of flame is about, it starts at your hands, but widens out to about 5 feet, and it is, wow, it's going pretty far, and there isn't really far to go. It's orange, red, white, blue, all the colors of flame. Everyone please roll a 20-sided die except for Rhiannon.
Oh boy. 13.
Okay.
7.
Okay. Everybody will hear what Finnan said, see what's going on over there, but it's really hard to miss the flame roaring out of Rhiannon for the doors. So everybody will catch a glimpse of that. Anybody rolling under 10 will note that at the edges of the flame itself, there's a little bit of green thrown in there. But Rhiannon, you don't pick up on that. And neither do you, Eric, because you rolled a 13. So this roaring fire will encompass the vampire, the 2 bruisers beyond the vampire, the door beyond the 2 bruisers beyond the vampire. The 2 humans will call out in short gasps as the fire just roars over them, but they pretty much only have time to do that before they turn to ash. Like they go up in flames and turn to ash that collapses to the ground. The vampire is a little bit more constitutious. It howls out in manifest agony as it has been lit aflame from top to toes, and it pinions around for a couple of moments, wailing before it tips over into a column of ash. The fire keeps going, and it cooks through the bolted, iron-reinforced front doors. The wood of them cooks off and turns to ash, and the iron just collapses, melting as it goes. Wow, that's impressive. Iron has a pretty high melting point. And now there is a hole where that door used to be, and hungry fire from your hands is chewing up to set the wall ablaze. It's not stopping, and it's gouting out into the night. If you had to guess, that's like 60 feet of fire you're pouring out of your hands into the night. You got anything for that?
I mean, what happens when I stop chanting and like break the gesture? I'm not like pointing my hands down or anything, but like just because there's this gesture, so
okay,
breaking it.
So what you will attempt to do is cut off your words, right? And attempt to break the. You stop talking, but this spell powers forth a gout of flame, which lasts for approximately 2 minutes. I'm afraid you've only a choice of where to point it. And then we move to 6 in the initiative order, which is Eric. Eric, well, damn. What do you got for me?
I figure Arita has got this under control. I am going to grab Allie if you're still by the table and just
I bolted.
Whichever of my friends, is anybody near me, or is it just me by the table?
You are by the table. The only person, Finnan, is now on the table, so basically closer to the center of the room than you. The nearest PC to you would probably be Joel or Randy.
Cool. I pick up Finnan.
I
hold him pointed at them.
There's no picking up Finnan. He's in the center of the table. You can grab for him if you like, but that's going to be your action.
Finnan's got it. I head over toward Rhiannon.
He is the thing, Eric, that light that he's created, and his statement is the thing that has the vampires on that side of the room paralyzed for the moment. You grab him? Okay.
No, I won't. Let me ask you this. Are there other vampires that are not transfixed either by the light that he generated or by the fiery torrent that Rhiannon has generated?
There are 2. One on either side of the door, about 10 feet away from where the door is. I don't think anybody wants to get in between Rhiannon and the door right now, but that doesn't mean that those vampires might not vector in on you guys as you're trying to get through it.
Okay. Since we don't have a map,
where
are the other party members in relation to Rhiannon? The reason I'm asking this question, because this will clarify what I'm saying, is which way is Rhiannon probably going to turn with that fire?
Who knows? The other 2, there's 3 members of the party that are close to Rhiannon, right? Joel and Randy were right behind Rhiannon. Allie was back at the table, but then zoomed past Joel and Randy, so is now standing sort of shoulder to shoulder with Rhiannon. Left side or right side, Allie? Your choice.
I'll say right side.
On Rhiannon's right. And then you're in the furthest in the back, Eric. Does that answer your question in terms of how you're all laid out?
Yes.
Okay. And Rhiannon is only 6 feet from the door. That's where she pulled up short. Before there was no door. And
Rhiannon turned left, and then we're headed toward the vampire on the right.
Okay, so your weapon is still out, or?
Oh yeah, I blaze into life the sword.
Okay, so it'll start dripping silver fire, and you'll tell people to do that as you're moving forward, and you're telling her to go left. Okay, all right, that's Eric at 6. At 7 is our friends, the vampires. 6 of them, stalking towards Finnan, will gin up their courage to take a leap. And this is where I need to roll dice. The first 2 will jump at him and hiss as some of their skin cooks off as they hit the edge of his barrier. But as that barrier is struck, it dims and drops to about half of its former size, like 15 feet. Now it's down to 7. And a third vampire jumps at him from the side. And now the barrier is gone. The fire is now what is lighting up this place. The fire that Rhiannon has started, the fire coming forth from Rhiannon, and the fire from your sword. The light from Finnan is out. Next is Joel at 8. What do you got for me, Joel?
All right, so I'm going to start by yelling, "He murdered the fox!" to try to support Illyra's plan of faking her own death, apparently. And then
faking her death.
well, she handed you the hilt, so you stabbed her with. Anyway, okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying it might not be fake. We don't know.
All right, so I'm gonna get my shield out and rush. I'm gonna rush the vampire on the right, try to bull rush it into the wall and pin it there.
Okay, please roll 20-sided die.
And trying to avoid touching it because I have remembered vampires level drain. So
shield leading with this strategy.
Hitting it with the shield.
Okay.
And that is a 2.
Yeah, okay, so that was a great plan up here. That was just an awesome plan up here. And when you visualized how that was going to work out, that went great. And then you started moving forward, and you first collided with a chair that you weren't expecting was there. And then you swatted that out of the way with your shield. You got about 6 feet forward. Didn't really get to that vampire, but thanks. It's the thought that counts in these situations. All right? And that
Silver lining, you did a number on that chair.
That chair will never be the same again, especially when the fire gets to it that Rhiannon has got going. Okay, so Randy, you're at 10. What have you got for me?
Okay, so I attempted to bestow bardic inspiration. I don't think I need to continue singing, and like I made my attempt, and either it worked or it didn't.
It didn't.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, so I don't need to continue singing for like if it. Oh, you said it didn't for sure. Okay.
No, I said it did or it didn't. I was just agreeing.
It did or
with
it
you.
didn't. But
I mean, some of your friends certainly seem
mechanically,
inspired.
do I need to continue to sing?
You do have to continue to sing in order to maintain that inspiration, but it doesn't. It's sort of like letting go concentration of a spell. It will last for at least a round after you stop singing.
Okay.
I'm hoping you guys aren't still in this building in a round.
Well, yeah, that would be ideal.
Randy, could you roll a 20-sided die for me? Because you're clearly thinking, wondering, what am I going to do here? Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Before you go any further, let me just remind you of a thing that you might have forgotten between now and either the recap or the last time we played. So you remember the kitchen? You remember the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
All right. Just think about the kitchen for a minute.
All the poor indentured children.
Mm-hmm. They're in that kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that there's much you can do about it right now.
Yeah, no. I think what I will do is I will touch. I don't even need to touch Rhiannon's shoulder at this point. I'll just say, Rhiannon, two vampires left and right, 6 feet from the door or whatever, and we got a bunch of vampires attacking Finnan behind us, and it looks like he's in trouble. I don't know if there's anything you can do about that.
All right.
And that's I mean, I guess I could try and throw one of my knives at one of the vampires or something to distract them. But
do you want to?
Sure, let's give it a try.
All right, which vampire were you throwing at here?
Whatever one of the ones attacking Finnan.
Okay.
Whichever one seems closest and clearest and easiest for me to hit without accidentally like putting in a knife in Eric's eye or something like that.
Yep.
All right. Which I'm sure he appreciates. 10.
Yeah.
All right. 10 will fly wild, and you're now minus 1 knife. It went off into the darkness. Well,
okay.
The room at this point. Okay, but thank you. All right, so that brings us to the conclusion of this round. It is about to be the beginning of the second round. I'll start with you, Rhiannon, because you're a live wire. You've got fire. And that rhymed, even though I didn't intend it to. What would you like to do this round? You tell me what you're going to do, and then we roll initiative.
Well, I want to ask a question of the voice and then decide.
Talking goes first, so before we even need to roll initiative, go ahead.
Will the doorway hole burn me if I get too close to it?
No.
Or am I? Okay. Good to know. And so there's two things I'm thinking of doing depending on the answer to sort of where logistically things are.
Gotcha.
So looking left,
Mhm.
Randy was saying there are two vampires. Do I have a path to the one on the left where it's just them and then the wall? Or am I getting tables with passed out humans at them?
You're getting tables with passed out humans at them. The only way to get a clear shot at that vampire is to let it close on you. The problem with this thing is it's broad and long. It is not a weapon of great precision. And so you turn that flamethrower in that direction and everything there burns.
Yeah. Sorry guys, but I'm gonna walk through the doorway hole
That's fine.
and point it out onto the street.
Okay. Roaring the fire ahead of you.
Yeah, essentially, like, because I'm assuming that like across the street we'll hit another building pretty quickly. So I want to turn and
Shoot it up.
Lord knows I'll
in the
turn to the
sky.
left.
Mhm.
I want to go down the street.
To
So
try
I
to
might
keep
get
it from actually burning anything. All right.
Yeah.
I'll shout, can you shoot it up?
You'll say. So Randy says, can you shoot
Yeah.
it up?
And I
And
will
you'll
say
get-
I'll try, but I'm doing it outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what you'll do when we come to your initiative. Thank you, Rhiannon. Okay, so Eric, you're to my left here. What do you want to do this round?
I am going to fight off any vampire that gets in the way of my allies getting out of here.
Is it safe to say that you're the last man to leave this place?
I mean, I am the last person whose name I know to leave this place.
Okay, fair enough. You have to just never leave a man behind, that kind of thing. That's where I was going with that one. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm just not all of us are men, so
I'm in this case humanity.
I didn't want to give you the opportunity.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, thank you, Eric.
It's a monkey's paw. That.
Yeah,
anyway.
No one likes a monkey's paw. All right, thank you, Eric. Joel, you are next in my line of vision. If I'm Hollywood squaresing this situation,
I move to be. I'm going to move out the door. If Rhiannon's already out it, I'm going to follow her out and take position just to the side of the door, preparing to try to block any vampires that come out after us.
Okay, got it. So also providing sort of that Eric style, let's try and cover the rear of this party situation.
Right. Performing rear guard,
all right.
Essentially, but getting out of the building while I'm doing it.
Got it. Allie, you are next in my clockwise order.
I'm not going to move completely out yet, but I'm going to try to move in that direction. But I also want to try to focus on the mark or reach out again, because I can't get I can't get the dagger out of the sheath. I don't have any other ways of defending myself or anyone else. So I am going. Yes.
You're on mute, Joel.
Sorry, my dog was making noise. I meant to do this last round and I forgot. I have an unpiece-tied dagger in the small of my back. I meant to throw that to Allie.
Okay, I'll let you do it.
That as part of my action,
I'm a generous dungeon master. I'll certainly let you do that. Okay. So go ahead, Allie.
I'll put to Allie as part of my action.
Okay. I'm still gonna reach out and be like, this is a dire situation. I need something, anything. And there's that feeling of desperation that I'm going to pour into it because I'm tired of feeling useless.
Gotcha. All right. So that's you. Randy.
What's Finnan doing?
Finnan is trying to deftly dodge jumping vampires on the table.
And where is Eric in relation to... Eric was being rear guard. Where is he in relation to Finnan?
He is about 7 feet from Finnan. Finnan is the furthest, deepest person into the room.
Okay. So Finnan's rear guard.
That's correct.
Okay.
Finnan gave you the fly, you fools.
Yeah. What's my sense of how well is my sense that he's outmatched at this point?
I mean, he did just disable via the magic at his disposal 3 of the vampires that were leaping at him. So I suppose it all
Yeah.
comes down to who goes first and what they do.
So
he
there's
prob-
one left facing him, or
3. There were 6
left facing him.
originally.
Oh, okay. All right.
And he probably shouldn't go toe to toe with every vampire in the room because that will not end well. But at the same time, definitely taking some vampire attention that, ideally wouldn't be focused on you. I mean, the remember you guys talked vampires a little bit. Joel said something a minute ago about like when they touch you, blah, blah, blah. Vampires can drain 2 energy levels at a hit. That kills any one of you with one.
Okay, so I will think I'm gonna stay where I am. I'm gonna put my hand on my mark, and I'm gonna be prepared to attempt to throw out the barrier that we've seen a couple times before, as a last resort. If I feel like I need to push back the vampires in order to protect Finn and or Eric.
All right.
Or the exit.
Sounds good. I now need you all to roll 10-sided dice for me as I do the same.
All right.
Got a 6.
Okay, hang on. Eric,
9.
6. I think I heard you say 3, Rhiannon. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, I heard somebody say 9, but I don't know who it was.
That was
Randy,
me.
3. Okay.
All right. I got a 2.
Okay. Joel said, I'm sorry, Joel, it was a 9?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And 2, Allie, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, give me a second to add your numbers. Because you're taking actions. Okay, only +1 for you, Rhiannon, because you already had the fire. And Eric. Okay, so actually, the first person who's going to go here is Rhiannon at 4. So Rhiannon, your plan is walk out with fire.
Yep.
Okay, you will do just that. You will walk out with fire, and you will attempt to push the fire up. Please roll 27.
13.
That doesn't seem, you can't, it's just sort of left. Damn it, it's sort of aimed where you were aiming it. You can't seem to get it to. The good news is you can keep it from burning a building next door. So now you're out through the hole, and this thing is, the front of the building is merrily burning as that fire is consuming it, and you are just pouring that fire out into the night. It's both terrifying and exhilarating all at once. Okay. About how many feet outside would you like to go?
Well, so it sounds like I can't really aim my arms, but can I aim my body?
Your body is a little bit more mutable, although you can't quite go like, I'm going to lay on the ground and fire it up into the air.
No, I'm not trying that. I'm still working for the down the street rather than across.
You can accomplish that goal. One, just because random chaos exists in the universe, the DM has to roll the 0 check. Hang on. Great news, no 0. So there wasn't a guy just walking down the street. What the? Okay.
Happy midsummer, everybody.
Hey, yeah. Okay. So that's what you'll do, Rhiannon. Thank you very much. All right, Allie, you're next.
Yes. I'm going to do what I was talking about. I'm going to I'm desperate. I don't have anything that's useful in this moment.
Please roll 27.
3?
Okay. You'll reach out for help, right? Help me. I need to do something. Okay. And you'll get the struggling voice of the mark in your head, and it will say 2 words. Now I have to find where in my notes they are, because Eric, of course, did not repeat them. Genhawar Sahan. Only sort of more like a Genhawar Sahan.
Oh, there you go.
You know what? Then I'm just going to repeat that. I will shout it if I have to.
Okay. Do you want to shout it or not?
Yeah, sure. I'm desperate. I don't care at this juncture.
All right, yelled out loud. You will say those words. People around you might hear them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then suddenly, you are not standing where you were standing a moment ago. You are now standing 200 plus feet down the road from where you were standing in the middle of this room a moment ago in a patch of darkness. There's Rhiannon in the fire way back there. I don't know that that's necessarily what you were expecting to happen, but it did. You felt yourself whisked from one place to another, from one patch of darkness to another patch of darkness. So that happens. And
I mean, on the one hand, I'm thrilled. On the other hand, not what I meant.
Well, you asked for help. You got help.
As heard faintly shouted. That's not what I meant.
Okay, fair enough. That you're 250 feet away. That will not carry back to the rest of the group. All right. Then at 5 is our friends the vampires. You will get 5 of them on the move that matter. 1 each arcing in at the sides of the party, right? Approaching you. The one stalking in towards you, Eric, approaching cautiously because you've got a flame-dripping blade in your hand, right?
Yeah.
And it'll take a lunge, just coming short of that blade. I assume you're sort of swinging it in its general direction to try to keep it at bay.
Warding him back, yeah.
And its healthy respect for that decision will cause it to miss you as it tries to avoid being tagged by the blade as it comes in. The other one is arcing in at Joel, who fortunately has an armor class based on armor, unlike the rest of you people, and so actually gets missed when I roll a 3.
Yeah,
so,
the only other person with armor is now 250.
So Joel,
yeah, but it's very stylish armor.
This thing will come in at you, and you'll throw your shield up in desperation. It'll basically tang off of your shield as it was trying to claw at you. So you know that armor and shield combo just saved your life, my friend. Okay, so that happens, and then there are 3 more now sort of like trying to circle in on Finnan and leap. 1 will miss and fly wide of him, landing on the table, right? The other 2 will basically tackle him from the sides, and he'll go down off to the side of the table underneath both of these vampires who are on top trying to worry at him from the ground. Next is Eric.
So there's a vampire actively attacking me right now.
There is a vampire actively attacking you right now.
All right, well, I'll swing the sword at him.
Okay, go ahead. This sword likes hitting vampires. It already hit 1.
I rolled an 18.
All right. In fact, you will hit another one. Damage, please. If you recall, it's 2d4 plus strength plus 1, specialization plus 3 is plus 4, plus the plus of the weapon plus 3 is plus 7, plus d4 of fire.
Okay, so it's... With the plus 7, it's 11.
Correct?
What was the last thing that you said?
An additional d4 of fire. You have to roll another d4.
Yeah, okay, so it's 11, and then, almost dropped the caltrop on the ground.
No one needs that.
And then just 1 holy fire point.
Of damage. All right, you will lay into the vampire, wounding it, but this vampire is a real vampire, not a freshly born one in the sewers, and so it's not down. You think you'd need to do that 3 or 4 more times before you could actually put this vampire down.
Wonderful.
It's in a fight. It's in a fight with you now, Eric. All right, and a heartbeat behind that is Randy. Randy, what do you got for me?
Things don't look to be going great for Eric and Finnan.
That is correct.
Question, the door to the kitchens, is that in a straight line with the front door? Like, so you go from the front door and there's all the bar on the right, there's the table on the left, you go to the back and there's the door to the kitchen?
The bar is on a straight line from the front door. And the
Oh, okay.
kitchen, the door to the kitchen is kind of off to the left of the bar. So, sort of triangular to get from the front door to the kitchen. If you roll a 20-sided die for me.
A 6.
You'll recall that there was a door leading out of the kitchen on the opposite side. If what you're thinking is make a mad dash for the kitchen, it's not like anyone's guarding the kitchen right now, Randy.
No. Here was my thought. I wanted to summon a barrier to push back the vampires away from my friends and create an escape route. But I was thinking, as long as I'm doing that, I could appeal the helm to protect the innocent and create a corridor, essentially, not a bubble with this barrier like it's been before, but rather a corridor. Push the vampires to the side and create a clear corridor from the kitchens to the front door, and for my friends and the children to escape.
It would appear as though, Randy, you might need to make a choice if that's your intention. If you're trying to get a corridor, then it's not necessarily going to help your friends. But if you're trying to help your friends, there's really no hope for a corridor.
Okay. All right. Well, I will help my friends. So I will try and fling back the vampires from my friends with the barrier and clear a path to the front door.
All right. So you'll feel the power of the mark surge forth from you. And you'll feel it erupt out into this sort of silvery barrier that previously came up, that you've seen this thing before, I think twice now, if I'm not mistaken. And it will roll over everyone and everything around you, right? The vampires arcing in at the party from either side will be staggered back. It doesn't hurl them bodily. They're a bit more powerful than wolves. But it does stagger them back on their feet far enough, maybe 15 feet apart each, to push them away from your friends. And the vampires on the ground on the other side of the table, worrying away at Finnan, will also be pushed sort of like bodily off of his now prostrate body. He looks insensate, laying on the ground there, and he's got blood freely flowing from him as well. So you've created this arc, a protective bubble. It's protecting against vampires. It's not protecting against the fire that's merrily chewing away at the front walls. But that's not an immediate problem. So you've created a barrier. I'll come back to you. Okay. Eric, that's good news for you. Joel, that's good news for you, because it means you don't have to go a mano with these vampires. So we've done Eric, we've done Randy, Ellie. Oh yes, Joel, batting a cleanup on the initiative.
Okay, well, I don't have a magic weapon, so I couldn't hurt these guys anyway. So, but change to what I was originally planning on doing. I'm gonna move over, scoop Finnan up in a fireman's carry, and head out the door.
Okay, so you will rush over to where Finnan is. Please roll 20-sided die for me. You're trying to hit AC 10.
Landed cockeyed. Hang on. I rolled a 3 again.
Okay, so we're going to get you a different die for rolling high. That's going to be your perception, intelligence check, dex check die. That's that one. But you're going to get another one for the higher rolls. So basically, you'll get a hand on Finnan, but it's blood slicked, and it will come loose before you can pull him in your general direction. You can see, Randy, that he's trying to help. Okay, and Randy, we come to you. You can move. You did this thing, but you didn't really go anywhere. You can move. You got about 30 feet in any direction that you kind of want to go in. The vampires do not look happy with what you have just done. They are paying attention to you. There are a dozen vampires paying attention to you, Randy.
Right.
Oh, okay. I will say... Oh, man. All right. I will say, we only wanted to leave in peace. Don't make me whip out the turn undead, my friends.
Okay, so that you'll say to the vampires around the room. Do you wish to move at all, or are you happy to stand where you stand as you give your speech to these vampires?
I mean, the barrier is protecting my friends at this point, right? And gives a path to the exit still.
That is correct. If you recall, it does not move with you. It stays where you put it up. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I could make a grab for Finnan.
You could. Do you want to roll a 20-sided die for me?
Sure. 6.
All right. So again, he's slick with blood, and so while you grab hold of him for a second, each of you have started dragging him like a foot forward before your like hands slick with blood come loose. So I mean, between the two of you, that's 2 feet towards the door. You're making progress. And you're both standing shoulder to shoulder over him at this particular moment. Joel, Randy's thing is protecting you for now. The vampires, I don't know that they're buying the détente offer, but they are cautious, Randy. You did threaten them with clerical power. And so that's round 3. We're inside outside now. I'm going to go with the person who is furthest away from this place first. And that's you, Allie. What would you like to do this round?
Well, so I'm a distance away now.
If you were to haul ass and do nothing else for the entire round, you could get back to where Rhiannon is.
Yeah. I will probably do that. Is there any way I could get my stiletto out while I am running?
You could certainly try. All you need to do is not have one of those dice like Joel's got. That'll create a problem for you.
I will do that then.
Okay.
I will haul ass while trying to get my stiletto not undone.
Gotcha. So that's you.
Yes.
Rhiannon, you are the next furthest away.
Well, I mean, so I guess I'll yell back inside, not that they'll hear me, but I will yell, if you can get away, I'll take care of anyone following you.
Okay. So you will yell that out. That'll go before initiative. And then what do you want to do with your action?
I mean, continue to not roast innocents.
Okay. An excellent choice, really. Okay. So that's Rhiannon. Eric, I'm going to you next because you're just next to me on the left.
Okay, so the vampire that I was facing is wedged off from me by the barrier?
Both of those vampires are now 15 feet away from you guys.
All right, I am joining the Finn and Daisy chain. Let's do this.
3 grown men can clearly carry a halfling out of this place.
Well, I'm starting to think that we're like kind of sliding him toward each other.
You are, in a way. That's correct. I understand a ladder once defeated your entire party, so right now at least it's something else. Okay.
And you said this was an attack roll.
This is an attack roll. Don't roll it yet because we haven't rolled initiative, but it is an attack roll, yes.
Okay.
Okay. All you have to do is hit AC 10.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to join the Daisy chain.
Okay. All right. So, Joel?
I will also attempt to be assuming the barrier is still up, I will be attempting to help get Finnan out the door.
Okay. And last, Randy.
Ditto. Try to get Finnan out the door and look very holy while I'm doing it.
All right.
Surely one of us 3 will
manage
roll a
it.
10 or higher.
He stands there and yells, "Cure wounds!"
Speaking of things like a 10 or higher, if you could please roll your 10-sided dice. And Eric, what is your number?
I rolled 2.
2. Okay. Rhiannon, your number?
20, you said?
10-sided for initiative.
All right. 6.
Okay, 6. Randy?
6. That makes 6 for me.
There we go. Allie?
3.
It's some kind of divine power.
That's some kind. And Joel?
10.
10. All right. You're the guy, you go last. It's kind of your thing. It's what you do. Okay. Rhiannon, at the very beginning of this round, the fire guts out. Your hands are your own again. when we get to you in the initiative order. Okay, Eric, you're first. Shall we begin?
Daisy chain. Here we go.
The grabbining.
I rolled a 9. I think I have a +1 strength modifier, so it should be 10, right?
You hit AC 10. Congratulations, yes. Eric. You've scooped Finnan up by his shirt, and you've got him into your arms. Okay, okay.
This is okay. Can I tell if he's alive or?
I mean, you're going to need to get him someplace where you can check for a pulse. That kind of. He's certainly unconscious. This isn't about physical wounds as much as it is about a combination of physical wounds and level drain. Okay.
Take off for the door.
Grab Finnan, head for the door.
I give Randy and Joel,
or as we like to call it, the burning hole that was once a door.
We are leaving.
Marines, we are leaving. All right, Allie, you are hauling ass and tugging. Go ahead.
All right. 20?
Yes, 20-sided die.
20? Okay. 13.
All right, good enough. That thing is free, and you now have a weapon out as you will come crashing up to basically where Rhiannon is.
Yeah.
And hey, the fire is out, which is delightful. So that's Allie. Next is Rhiannon. Your hands are your own again.
Fire. Sorry.
I'm waiting out here because I just offered to. So here's my idea.
Yes.
I will position myself to the side of the door hole, so that as my friends come out, like I don't start the spell, but then once the last of my friends comes out, then I start it sort of like across the door hole. So I'm not burning it more. I'm just like getting the person coming into
sort of creating a jet of flame that prohibits people who aren't your friends from exiting the burning door hole. Got it. All right. Thank you for jumping aboard the burning door hole train with me. Okay. So that's Rhiannon. Randy?
I will hold my hands like this and just kind of walk behind Eric as he makes for the door with Finnan.
I'm totally keeping you all at bay. So totally keeping you all at bay.
Exactly. And I will say, thank you for the lovely evening. Lick your wounds and let's all just go our merry way, shall we?
All right.
And continue to follow Eric out.
So I just want to be clear on this as you're doing it. You realize you're mocking the powerless vampires, right, Randy?
No, I'm not mocking them.
All right, cool. Not mocking them. Understood.
I'm encouraging them to, like, let bygones be bygones.
Be bygones. I understand completely.
Let bygones be bygones.
Let bygones be bygones.
Okay, that was pretty bad. All right. And
thank you.
Joel.
Hustling out the door as well. I mean, all right. Eric's already at the door, right?
That is correct. Eric is at the door and through. Randy is going to go through.
I'm not leaving until everyone is left. Remember?
Not through yet. Is at the door.
I will hand Finnan to Joel as he runs past.
Right. I was going to ask, can I take Finnan since Eric and Rhiannon are the only two who can actually hurt the vampires right now?
Okay,
so,
that's
take
entirely
this Finnan ball.
Right. Yeah.
That is entirely
lateral him over to Joel.
Fair. All right. So you'll achieve that there. Is it safe to say, Randy, that you're stepping outside, or do you want to wait inside with everybody else?
I would follow the path of Finnan. So as he's handed off to Joel, I would follow Joel.
Okay, got it. So you'll be sort of outside. All right.
Yep.
You're right, Joel. It's not a lateral, it's a handoff.
There we go.
The people in that are sort of at the tail end of the place, right? So like Eric is the last person out the door. You'll be able to get a sense also because you have the mask that the vampires were testing the edge of that thing, but the fire is merrily burning in the front of this place. And they're now sort of thinking self-preservation as opposed to, I'm going to try and rush the people at the door because there's a stupid barrier up, blah, blah, blah. So they're looking exits around, whether that's second floor, back out into the kitchen. They're sort of edging towards ways out of here that aren't the fiery door hole. Okay? Yes, Eric? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the last thing to occur in the round is to you, Rhiannon. If you're thinking of using the very same thing, you're now drawing from your own reservoir of power. So it will be less powerful, and it will only last a round. It is granted to you ahead of when you should get it. If you wish to do something entirely novel and learn a new thing, then your flames will be infused with the power of the mark.
Hmm.
Do you have any response to that? If not, go ahead.
Just good to know.
All right, good to know. And a conclusion of that round, beginning of the next round. All right, so Rhiannon, what do you want to do this round?
Still
Waiting
ready.
to give fire.
I mean, even like less powerful is good enough for
this purpose. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Eric, I'll come to you last because you're the last person out of the place. Randy, Joel, and the unconscious Finnan. What are you two doing?
So did I notice on the way in, are there any temples or anything else in the vicinity? Because if the vampires just have to run around the building, we are absolutely not safe here. We need to get somewhere protected.
Was there a back exit out the kitchen?
There was a
door.
back door. You don't know if that actually takes you outside or someplace else. Right. The only place you've seen so far that could possibly have been a temple was that spooky looking tower several blocks away from here. The closest thing to here that's friendly terrain is Briar House. That's just down the street.
Oh, well, in that case, I would encourage everyone to hustle out to I'm not going to say Briar House out loud. But
I was going to say, do you want to say that out loud?
No, I'm going to say, okay, everybody, and point in the direction of Briar House and try to get everybody moving in that direction.
Do you wish to do that by
yeah.
By leading the way?
I'm still carrying Finn, and I'm just going to take off.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Do you want to get them to go that way by just going that way and hoping that they follow?
Probably best.
Yeah, right. I think I will fall in and follow Joel.
Randy, how about you?
Same. Yeah,
okay.
Just follow Joel.
And so I promised I'd come to you last, Eric.
Okay, all of my companions are out of there.
We haven't rolled for initiative yet. They're all planning on being out of there.
Okay. I have the sword ready. If a vampire comes, I'm going to attack it. Otherwise, I'm going to leave.
Okay, sounds good. Please roll your 10-sided dice.
I rolled a 3.
Okay, Eric 3, Rhiannon?
8.
8. Randy?
7.
Okay, Allie?
Oh. Just a moment. Another 3.
Okay, 3. Good at this initiative thing. And
apparently.
Joel. Let's see 4. If Joel is... I was going to say, let's see if Joel continues to be bad at this initiative thing, but not so much. Okay, Allie, you're actually first. Do you get what... Do you pick up what Joel is putting down and just dash off in the direction of Briar House? It's about 1,200 feet away.
Yeah, I'll pick that up. I'll just be like, I'll take in everything, and I'll just go. Let's get out of here, and I'll take off.
Okay, whoosh. Okay, so you'll see Allie start to go in the direction that perhaps you're hoping. Joel, dodging off into the night. Eric, you're next.
Who's still in here?
Of your party, only Randy.
Okay, well, all right. Are there other people that I can see other than the vampires?
There are people all over this room. Many of them slumped unconscious on tables or next to tables. Some of them crawling weakly towards the front door. Some of them trying to get out of here either through the kitchens or the thing upstairs.
Can't save them all.
Easily a dozen choices, Eric.
Paladins do not take negativity like that lightly, Rhiannon.
They're probably all Sharans, we said, right?
Did we say that?
I believe Finnan said something to that effect, or implied it.
These are the entrees. the people eating them are the.
Finnan said the place
Yeah.
was dedicated to Shar. He didn't say that everyone inside
Right,
was a
that's
Shar.
true.
egg.
And they're probably not. The cult wouldn't necessarily eat all of their own. They could eat some of their own, right? Anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna present the Flaming Vindicator.
Yep.
And I am going to attempt to turn those vampires.
Interesting. All right. Thank you, Eric. Please roll a 20-sided die for me.
Okay.
Excellent. That's a 12.
All right. You don't know whether or not you've actually successfully turned the vampires, but none of them are coming at you. They're keeping a wary eye on you, but as I said, they're much more interested in self-preservation than they are in you right now. Hey, Eric, could you roll a 20-sided die for me?
14.
You vaguely recall that your daughter said something mysterious to you about the basement earlier tonight.
That's true. There's someone terrible and evil in the basement.
Hmm.
Is that what you mean?
That could be what I'm talking about, yeah.
I see.
I mean, that's just something to think on.
Do I have a clear path toward the basement?
I mean, really, I think I was trying to tell you that more to tell you that while these vampires might not be able to get through whatever it is you're doing, that doesn't mean that there might not be something in the basement that could. Although if you want to take that to please rush into the basement and fight the great evil, I will accept that answer.
I think I'll pass this time.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyway,
You're
my
wise.
goal is to distract the vampires so that anyone who can escape does escape.
Gotcha. There is no one here who will make it outside that door without being dragged.
Can I drag somebody, or are they all wedged out?
There is none of the people that are trying desperately to crawl their way across the floor and get out through the burning door hole are in any way being negatively impacted by that field. So there is random a woman who is the closest to you, just a few feet away, desperately, blood flowing freely from a wound at her neck, weakly crawling across the floor towards salvation. If you
I will
want
go
to
and grab that person and help her out.
Okay. So that is what you will do. You'll try to turn the things, seeing that they're not coming at you anyway. You'll grab her, kind of lift her up onto her feet and head towards the exit. That's where you're at. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Next is Joel. Down the street towards Al.
Heading down toward Briar House with Finnan on my shoulders. And if there are options while running down the street of like pools of light, I will be trying to stick to shadows so that if anybody does come out, hopefully they don't see us.
Got it. Trying to be stealthy about it. Noted. All right.
Stealthy as I
Randy.
can be clanking down the street.
Not very stealthy, but I appreciate the thought. It's the thought that
I'm
counts.
thinking about it.
Okay, Randy. Randy is having an existential crisis.
All my friends are safe. I'll go around to the back door and
So you will run out of the flaming door hole and start to make your way around the building. Is that a correct statement?
Yep.
Okay. When you come out of the flaming door hole, do you turn left or right at first?
Left.
All right. So people seeing you do that will not know that your intention is to double around to the back of the building until you reach that side of the building to double around the back of it. So like the Alleys and the Joels and the Rhiannons who are sort of watching you go won't know that there's something afoot until you bang a left and start to go around the back of the building. Okay?
Yeah, I'll say to them, go on. I don't want to endanger you. Yeah.
All right. So he'll yell that from the building as he starts to make that left-hand turn. You'll see that, Eric, only when you drag this woman out of the fiery door hole and into the street. Oh, wait a minute. That was somewhat unexpected. And then last...
Not really. Randy and I have met. I'm not surprised.
And then last, but certainly not least.
I will go Larnet. Ugh.
Ah, nice
But
use,
like, am
nice
I
use
doing
of a
anything
forgotten realm.
different? No. No, I am not.
All right, so again, last but not least, Rhiannon. Looks like your friends are out.
I mean, I guess I'll go towards Briarhouse, sort of watching for pursuers, basically.
So you're trying to be something of a rear guard. Is that a correct statement? Okay. Roll a 20-sided die for me as you're making your way past the edge of the building.
18.
Okay. You'll know Randy's turning down that way, but you're not even really thinking about it. I'm going to come back to you in a second. Okay. So we are now out of rounds. There's no combat going on. So we're just doing things now. So we're down to, what do you guys want to do? My understanding of it is that Joel and Allie are going direct beat path to Briarhouse. Let's close that quarter mile as swiftly as we can. Is it safe to say that you'll sort of line up with each other so that you're moving more or less together?
If Allie will slow down for my stumpy little legs.
You're on mute, Ellie.
I also think that clustering up might not be the best idea. Moving as a giant like pack of people is heavily noticeable.
Okay, fair. So does that mean you just like to get to Briarhouse first on your own and you'll let everybody else figure it out?
I think that's what my thinking is at,
Okay.
at the present moment. Yes.
So no stumpy leg stopping for Allie. Yeah, I really gotta. Come on, guys. So that's Joel. I know what you're doing.
Only long, lithe, shapely legs.
Yes.
See ya, Joel.
I get it.
So Eric, you have this girl. She's probably like 19 winters, something like that. Dressed
Young
in
woman. Gotcha.
Yep. Dressed in, cheap finery, drunk, drugged, drained of blood, staggering alongside you. What do you want to do?
Okay. I have my flaming sword in one hand. I'm going to press the other hand to the wound on her neck
Mm-hmm.
and hope that Helm is watching over my choices with approval. And I'm going to
Okay.
try and heal her.
Could you please roll a 20-sided die to determine Helm's approval in this particular instance? I'm going to roll some percentile dice.
I rolled a 9.
Okay. It appears as though Helm is not tuned in to your exploits at this particular moment, or if he is, he's just not helping out.
Well, I'm applying pressure at least.
You are applying pressure at least. Okay. All right. So you're sort of stopped is the point I'm trying to make. You're not making real progress here. Okay. Randy, you've made your way around the side of the building. Is it your plan to creep around to the back?
Yeah, creep in the sense that I'm gonna have my thing glow as a nightlight also as
Okay.
an indication that I have power, and go to the back door basically. And
Okay. So you'll
Try to
creep
listen.
around, you'll
Yeah.
turn left, right?
Yeah.
Which basically like left, and now you're looking down the alleyway that there should lead to a back door here, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that back door is now open. And there are 2 vampires standing outside of it, just sort of like rushing against the back door as they've pushed their way out through this portion of the building. They don't see you immediately. Do you want to, whoa?
Yeah, I'll whoa back and I'll go after my friends.
All right. Somewhat downcast because you were really hopeful that you would be able to do something there, but it just doesn't look like that you can.
Yeah.
Okay. Which brings me back to you, Rhiannon. You seem like you're perhaps a little bit troubled by what has unrolled here in our attempts to get in and out of this place over the last 30 to 60 minutes. So I kind of figure you're somewhat lost in your own thoughts as you're making your way down the street. What are you thinking?
I mean, there's no such thing as a free lunch, so it was a nice idea. And then, like, it has, serious consequences. No shit. So, I mean, I guess I go back to not using it, which was the right decision. So only use it in life or death.
Almost as if it knows what you're thinking. That was a den of depravity and lust in need of a cleansing by flame. There was really no saving it.
But one could have saved the victims.
The people there were far from innocent. They were there by their own choices, and they paid the price for those choices.
Yeah, that's not a game I'm playing. Like, I'm not playing the, like, they're not innocent. No.
There are degrees of innocence, I suppose. The power's yours. Use it as you see fit. But I will remind you, you would not have even been there except for Eric's actions. Our mission is our babes, not whatever child he's chasing. And you certainly never would have been trapped there but for his actions and his foolish trust in that woman than he should have known better to trust. You were about to put an end to all of those games, but then you were talked out of it. You should be in charge. You're the wisest, you're the most powerful, and ultimately, you're the only reason that anyone made it out of there alive at all.
Do you have a beef with Helm?
We know whose voice this is.
Such a good question.
I don't have a beef with Helm, per se. I have a beef with stupidity. And I believe that Helm, and Helm's followers, your friend included, frequently tend to embody it. Do I need to remind you what they're doing half a world away right now? What they did half a world away a decade ago? Do you know about that? About the genocide that they perpetrated on the other side of the Shining Sea?
Oh.
Oh.
I mean, I do not know, but like paladins, checks out sometimes.
Oh,
Not
Paladin
always.
syndrome.
Is that what he is? Is that what your friend Eric is? A paladin?
What else would he be?
A champion, perhaps. A paladin, I very much doubt.
Shots fired.
Okay, cinematically, can I suggest that we cut back to me for 1 second?
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll cut back to Eric for 1 second.
A paladin, I doubt. And then I'm trying to lay on hands, right? And I'm like, no, it's not working. Time to do this the hard way. And I use the flaming sword to cauterize the wound.
Okay. Do you have any medical experience of any kind, Eric? I
mean, I was a Boy Scout and I was trained in first aid. And
do they have a merit badge for wound cauterization in the Boy Scouts? I've never been a Boy
cauterizing
Scout.
somebody's gaping throat wound? No.
Okay, no.
But I'm familiar with the concept.
You sure are. Could you please roll
You watched
that
House.
I watched House. That
We've
was a
all
good
watched
idea.
House. We've all watched House.
I rolled a 5.
Okay, so this is a good news, bad news situation. The good news is that you have applied fire and that the fire seems to have blackened and sealed the wound. The bad news is that the woman has stopped breathing.
Oh, great. Well, I pick her up and I run back toward Briar House.
All right. So you will, as you're doing that, encounter Randy looking rather deflated coming around the edge of the building.
I'll say, is she okay?
Nope.
Does she need CPR?
No.
Yes.
Let's apply CPR.
Do you want to apply it here in the street? with the gaping
No.
fire hole. Okay.
No, but like maybe
She
if
could
we can get
survive a
someplace
couple
within
of minutes.
yeah.
If only somebody had a healing potion.
See, this is
We-
the thing about emergency.
Don't we?
Yeah, we do, but we're not
we do.
there. So
I have a
I
healing
mean-
potion on me.
You do. That's correct.
Do I still have a healing potion on me?
You
Chris?
distributed them amongst yourselves. So I think everyone in the party's got one at this point.
That's
Yeah.
not why I'm asking that.
Yep.
I'm asking that because
Yeah.
I was in a room with the Fox at Twilight. Do I still have a healing potion on me?
You fortunately weren't as close to her as some other people were. And so as a consequence, you
Not
still
for
have a
want
healing.
of trying on
Wait,
her part.
Wait, do I still have a potion?
Yes,
Yes.
you do.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, let's pause and feed her a healing potion.
So we're going to lay her down. We're going to try to get her to swallow, despite the fact that she's not breathing, by pouring liquid down her throat.
And then massaging the throat to get her to, yeah.
Randy looks dubious about this strategy that you have. Randy, is there some dubiousness I'm detecting here?
There's a little dubiousness, but I've done dubious things, so
Well,
I'm
let's just
just
see
gonna-
how this plays out. All right, so
it's Eric's
Rhiannon,
call.
would you say you're strolling casually down the street, hustling down the street? I thought you're kind of like lost in thought, so I didn't see you running. I saw
No,
you
not
maybe
running.
jogging down the street. Okay, could you roll a 20-sided die for me?
20.
All right, lost in your own
Okay.
thoughts. Okay.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we've stopped. We're attempting to apply healing potion to woman. All right, so Eric, if you could please roll a 20-sided die for me.
Is her heart still beating?
Do you want to check for that?
I do.
Okay. Very thready. Like
Good.
thump. Thump.
I rolled a 9.
Okay, you, believe it or not, you managed this trick. And she starts coughing it back up because you're forcing liquid down her throat
Nope.
while she wasn't breathing. Oh my God. Now you're like, could you roll a 20-sided die for me, Eric?
the good news is now she's drowning.
That would be a
What a-
2.
Okay.
What a way to go, drowning in a healing.
Yeah, I know, right?
Does that even work? Like
There was
yeah.
actually a long discussion online about whether you could drown in healing potion or not.
I've got this one. So, okay. Again, this is a good news, bad news situation.
Oh my God.
The good news is you've succeeded in applying healing to this woman. And so you'll see the ragged edges of the wound, the blackened bits of it, like heal and close a little bit. The bad news is that she's getting this stuff into her lungs, and we've reached her maximum hit points, and there's still potion to go. And so you got to let go unless you want her to drown in this thing.
Okay, well, I'll let go.
Okay. She will begin screaming.
All right, well,
That's fair.
we're trying to help you. It's all right.
She's trying to stagger away, screaming. That's drawing attention. Could you roll a 20-sided die for me, Randy and Eric?
And I'm gonna try bardic influence to like
Calm
to
her down.
influence NPC reaction towards positive here.
Oh
Mhm.
dear.
I
Are we
rolled
gonna
5,
get the
by the
little-
way.
So what do I roll? Sorry, first
20-sided die.
ask me 20-sided die. 6.
All right, that's actually good because you're trying to detect something. You will both hear horns blaring in the distance.
Oh, that's probably a good thing, honestly.
Some madman set fire to a building of some renown in the city.
Exactly.
Actually, it was actually a tag team effort, Eric. You started the fire first, and Rhiannon just finished it. And so
yeah.
that's somebody responding to that.
Good.
This
good.
woman screaming, however, Randy, there were a couple of vampires out back. Maybe we just let her scramble away, because I don't think she's just gonna stop screaming because you're trying to influence her. Maybe we saved her. Back into the pond with you.
Can we knock NPCs unconscious?
Oh, you
second
certainly can knock NPCs
Wham!
unconscious. Okay, there's a process for it. It's not automatic, but it's doable. Would you like to attempt to
Oh my
deploy that
God.
process, Eric?
edition? Yes.
All right. You're like the world's craziest EMT. Could you roll
I
a
am-
20-sided die for me?
I mean, an EMT would typically have things to
Drugs.
inject into
Yes.
somebody who
Yes.
is
Understood.
who's fighting it.
You're using the flat of a blade. Understood.
I rolled a 2.
Swoosh.
This is my low rolling
Right.
d20.
Swoosh right over her head. And Randy, I don't think she's buying the "you guys are friendly" anymore. And she is now scrambling away at her best speed on all fours from the party.
At this point,
Yeah, I will just say there are vampires near, and we just saved you from them. Keep screaming, and they'll find you.
Okay. Could you roll 2 10-sided dice? Add these two together.
I feel like we need the Benny Hill music.
Look how much effort we're putting into saving this poor woman.
A 2 and a 3.
All right. So she doesn't stop screaming immediately, but because it takes about a minute for that to sink into her brain. But by the time she gets to the other side of the street, she stops.
Good.
Okay. So you're at the front doors of Briar House, Allie.
I am.
Mhm.
And I mean, do I go in at this point? Do I wait outside for people? Like, I don't. Oh, I've at least sheathed my dagger again, finally.
Okay.
If I see you pausing, I will probably yell something like, "Get the door open, coming through."
Yeah,
Get the door
my hands are
open,
tied up,
coming
so I
through.
I'll hear that and I'll do that then. I will get the door open
Okay.
and get.
Fair enough. So you'll start banging on it because it's locked from the inside. Okay. Thank you. Joel?
Yeah, trying to get through the door if I can with Finnan.
Gotcha.
I don't know if I've got enough movement this round.
No.
Okay,
Rhiannon?
still.
Yeah, Briar House, there it is in the distance. Oh, your friends are back there. You hear them. There was a screaming woman that they were apparently. What the hell? Eric tried to swing. I don't know what they're doing.
Paladins.
Nope, Briar House.
Okay. Got it. Check.
Comedy of errors.
All right. I was thinking that. So you will arrive at Briar House, Joel. The doors are being unlocked. You can hear the bolts being thrown on the inside. That's probably Varys turning all of those various bolts. Rhiannon, you'll come rolling up behind Joel because you were closing on him this entire time. He just does not move as fast as you. And maybe 2 rounds back are a hustling Randy and Eric, who I assume are now running, right? Because there's no reason not to be. Is that correct, Randy and Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that woman we tried to rescue?
Oh, she's well away at this point.
Okay, great.
She was scrambling. She got up onto her feet.
Fine.
She stopped
It's all good.
screaming. Okay. I mean, she's not with you, but she's not in there. So
Great. It's probably
victory.
for the best.
Yeah. Okay. So Rhiannon, as you roll up on Joel and Allie, as the doors are being unlatched, do you have anything at all you want to say, or are you going to wait to be inside to have conversation? Remember, you can do this.
Inside.
Okay. Got it. All right. So those doors will fly open. It is a combination of Jamal holding a wand. You saw it tucked in her belt earlier. And the dwarf who has opened the door and now has a hand crossbow, and it's you. And she'll say, "Come in quickly." The door is still open. So the 3 of you, what's wrong? She's looking at Finnan. Okay. Rhiannon, you'll roll in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going inside. So.
Okay. Quick,
Yeah.
quick, put him down by the fire, she'll say.
Yeah. Well, the purple lady was full of vampires.
What? And Eric
Yes.
and Randy, you'll come chugging up on the front doors at this particular moment. There's a anxious-looking dwarf with a heavy crossbow aiming it at you. Come in, quick! We have to close the doors.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We'll go inside.
And you'll roll inside. Meanwhile, Allie, full of vampires. What? Joel,
Yes,
are you putting him down next to the fire?
Yeah, I'm laying him down and beginning to treat him as a casualty.
Okay, got it. Go ahead, Allie.
Yes, after our little meeting with our contact, the let's just say the proprietors of the business weren't keen on letting anyone leave. So
Damn it, I knew I should not have trusted her. That damned viper.
Have you access to someone with restorative magic?
That's you rolling in the front door. Hey,
Yep.
Joel, roll a 20
That's the
sided die
first
for me.
thing I say.
That is a 6.
Okay. This is a bad news situation.
Mm-hmm.
Not breathing, doesn't have a heartbeat. He is pale as hell. The blood in the places where he was bitten isn't even really flowing in any way. You think this was an energy drain situation. That's not a potion down the throat. That's a soul has left the body situation. You are the first person to understand that. You're looking up at a room of people who are anxiously looking down at you.
Okay, it looks like he has been energy drained. I do not believe he is revivable without restoration magic. Jamal, do you have anyone with access to that?
What do you mean he's not revivable? She'll push you out of the way and go to him. What do you guys want to do?
I
I'm gonna
can't.
sit down.
I'm sorry, let's go to Rhiannon first. Go ahead, Rhiannon.
I cannot touch him.
Okay. You'll say that. I cannot touch him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And Allie, you'll say, I need to sit down. Is that what I heard you say?
Well, I will sit down. I don't think I'm gonna say it. I'm just gonna go slump into a chair or something.
You'll find that you won't only sit down, you'll fall down when you go to plant your ass in that chair. Pretty much everybody in this group, with the possible exception of Joel, is in shock right now because your adrenaline was pumping. You were in this desperate, dangerous situation, fire, terror, and blood, and now you're safe for the first time since then, and it's all crashing in on you. You know, your thoughts about what you did, what you didn't do, what you could have done, what you should have said, all of that is coming home to roost at this particular moment.
You've only made them
I
angrier.
want to put a hand. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I have I have not called upon my mark over the course of this thing, other than letting it teleport me once. I am going to try to call upon it for specifically Aminator for healing magic, and I'm going to do that by putting my hands on either side of his heart, screaming "Clear!"
Yes.
seeing if I can bring him back.
All right, Randy, you were also going to do a thing just then.
Oh, I was just going to talk to Jamal. But
Okay.
if he's going to try and heal him,
Jamal is pawing at him,
happens.
like checking for the same things that Joel checked for a moment ago, and she seems just distraught. No, this can't be happening. He just arrived. He was sent here by Finder. So if you want to say something to her, now's the moment.
Yeah, I will put my hand on her shoulder and I say, and he did Finder's good work. None of us would have survived without his aid. And Eric was even able to save another woman with the opening that he gave us.
She's looking at you with desperate eyes that tears are welling up in. Joel, you'll say, clear, and attempt to pour the power of your mark into this body.
That is correct.
So here's the thing. In order for that to work, you have to have something that you can work with. You do not have something that you can work with here. This is me. This is not a person anymore. There is no healing this person. You'll know that because you're trying to pour power and the power is going nowhere. What do you want to do?
I don't think second edition had a revivify. It does. I see if the mark has never spoken to me, but I will. But other people have told me that they talked to it, so I'm going to try to do the telepathic thing and say, if there is anything in there that would help him, I'm trying to access it.
Please roll a 20-sided die.
Came up cockeyed. 5.
A voice, a male voice, a voice filled with age, patience, and wisdom will speak out into your mind. I was wondering how long it would take for you to speak to me. I'll do this because that's what I do with Rhiannon. I appreciate, Joel, what it is you're trying to do, but he is one beyond your help. So Joel will be surprised. Nobody else is probably zoning in on that because you're all living in your own world at this particular moment, except for Randy, you living in the world that Jamal and you inhabit. Jamal will look over desperately at you, Joel. You are doing a thing. You said clear.
I'm sorry. I'm not.
So you get out the words, I'm sorry. And then that's it. Any composure that Jamal had left vanishes in a breaking, racking sob. And she just starts wailing. And that is where we will end our session for tonight.
Well, oh,
Hey.
so I've been Eric Scott to be. Often I DM games on this channel, and I often inflict tragedies like this onto my players. So well done, Chris. Well done. You could find me online and on this channel and stuff. Take it away, Ali.
Hi everybody, I am Alexandra Pitchford, or Ali for short. Yeah, I'm a TTRPG streamer, a writer, a game designer, and apparently I shadow danced. So that's fun. That's a win for me amid all of the other stuff that just happened.
Got
She
your
did have a
blessings.
chance to teach you.
I've been Rhiannon Held. Check out my books, the Silver series under Rhiannon Held, and my space opera novellas. The series is now complete if that's something you want. The Amsterdam Institute series starting with Clean Install. We've got carbon composite wings and nanites and galactic empires and snarky AI that's got lots of cool stuff in it. And tonight, thank you to our moderators, whoever is in the channel, we really appreciate you. And the ones playing here too.
Hi, I've been Randy, and thank you all for watching.
Hey everybody, been Joel Everett, and I'm feeling very validated in my skepticism of the marks. Come hang out on the Discord with us, chat about fun, nerdy stuff. See you next time.
And I am Chris, the DM. Please join us for episode 10 of Isekai Realms to see what interesting things occur next. Back over to you, Eric. I rendered him
Do our
speechless.
sign-off?
Take us out, Rhiannon.
Since we're so many writers, until next time, may your word counts and your rolls be equally high.